Still at it. Still at it. Been running this thing and running this thing and adjusting and tweaking and adjusting and still at it and not quite finding where things are falling down. Some of them I think it truly is valid to be zero, and others not so much. And I'm not fully sure why. For example, let's look at punts, the punt skill. Are we saying somehow, some way, there are punters who are actually punting? They've got touchbacks. They have more than zero punts. They have at least one of the three things that are involved there: net average, inside 20, and punt net average. So they have at least some value to go in. And yet, not all my players are getting a punt skill, because I mean, if you look at it, if they have none of the above, they should be getting something, because all this value here says, hey, why do I? Oh. I hope I'm not doing any of these that are wrong. That would be weird. That would be bad. I'm going to go look to see if any of these. Pretty sure I got rid of all the ones that were false here. Because by saying that this is an invalid value, like this came back bad, by saying that, then the values don't get counted or saved and everything's just wonky. Because it only saves it to the database if they have this is true. And that did fix a lot of my problems when I got rid of that, because I had a bunch of these returning false. However, these should, I don't know how I'm getting zeros. All right, let's go to offensive skills. We're going to go see my punt skill. Now there's some, like I said, I'm learning that, yes, some of them should in fact be zero. But punt skill should not be zero. Yes, you're going to be bad if you're at the bottom, but you shouldn't be zero, because even the worst kicker has something more than zero, or at least they should. So we're about to find out who has a punt skill that's zero. Because somebody's getting a punt skill that's zero. Well, at least didn't I turn that on? Punt skill, true. Special team skills. Punt skill. Okay, so we had a punt skill less than or equal to zero. So far, I'm not seeing anybody getting a zero, which is even more weird. How are we not getting? So how come people are getting? I'm telling you, look, because the value is, I'm only getting like 50 people are getting a punt skill, which is not right if in fact true, everybody should be getting it, if, because this is this write logs is supposed to be showing me anybody who's less than or equal to zero. And I'm not seeing anybody. Right now it's just doing the ratings. Ratings, and then it'll give me totals. See? Punt skill. 37 players. Only 37 players got a punt skill, but nobody got a... That don't make any sense. Because everybody should... Alright, so if nobody's getting a 0 on punt skill... I'm so confused at this moment. How is that even possible? We're not doing a default. Those are my testing files. If nobody's getting a 0, how am I getting... So not everybody is running through this. That's all I can figure is not everybody is even getting processed through here. Because that's the only way that would happen. Alright, I'm going to have to do something weird here. Because I need to find a count of somehow of knowing how many players got sent through. Because if only 37 are going through here, there's a problem. Field goal strength went through there. Field goal strength is right there. So how come, because field goal strength got all of them, right? It did like it's supposed to. As you can see, I got a lot more that say 1484 than I did. So I am getting them slowly. Kickoff strength and field goal strength both have 1484 that got processed. Those are both just right above. Somehow punt skill is only getting... So if 37 got... Only 37 got values. That doesn't make any sense. Ugh. Great gurgly murglies. What is going on, troops? Why are some of these guys not getting processed in this punt skill? Punt skill, what is going on? So we go in here. Some of them don't get ratings, that's fine. And then we get through. If they're not getting processed, why do 37 players? All right, I'm going to take this piece off. This is going to slow it down because that means all 1,400 people are going to get a value. But I don't know why this is going to prove to me and my non-believing self All 1,400 people are going through there. There they go. Oh, that's going to take forever. That is super slow. I don't know if I want to wait that long. But, so everybody, it's obviously more than 37. We are definitely getting more than 37. And nobody is less than or equal. Oh. No. Wait a minute, that was not 1,400 though. I mean, it may have been more than 37, but it certainly wasn't. So. Oh, wait. It was only about 30. We did have a situation where we're not... Okay. Only 30 some got past this point, which might be correct because that's the only ones getting values. So those that are getting through are correct, but something is putting a 0. Something is putting a 0 in my database. That's what's going on here. What's putting a 0 in my database? Is punt skill being defined anywhere else? Am I getting this anywhere else? I should probably look it up this way. Nope. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. So this is returning the negative 99, and that sets it if it's one of the bottom ones. These are test calls to the function. And then there's this. I'm confused, man. It's not. I wonder if there's any chance I can find this without... how many do I have? 78? Ugh, it's going to take a long time. Or that, I'm going to get really lucky. Wait, what? Availability rate. Adjusted availability rate. Yards per rush. Stuffs per rush. Security, hand skill, yards per rush, break tackle, yards after catch, hand skill, big play potential. Accuracy. This is probably not the best way to look these up. Kickoff skill, kickoff average, turn rate, touchback rate, kickoff strength, kickoff accuracy, Punt return skill. Kick return skill, adjusted. Tackle, run. Block. Punt, punt leg strength. But it's just punt skill I want. Punt net average. There it is, get punt skill. Okay. So something is setting this to 0. And the only way that gets set to 0 this is the only place it should get set. That's what's throwing me off. These are all different values. So they're not adjusting it. And if anybody's 0 at any given time, this should fire. Because right now I got the logging turned on, and that's not supposed to do it. That don't make any sense. So we should never have a 0. I don't know what I just did. I don't even know what that is. Because only 2 places where that value gets set and read. Should never be 0, because if it was, I'd get this punt skills less than or equal to 0. I'm using punt skill. That doesn't make any sense. How would that happen? It's supposed to be impossible. And if it gets set at all to any value that's not 0, when it comes around the second time, the scale min, all I could think of is somehow I have a punt skill that's coming up really close to 0. No, but that doesn't record. You know, it even said 0 in there though. Nope, that doesn't work either. Because it doesn't store, we're not storing a 0 even. Punt skill less than or equal to 0. If there was 1, I would get a log entry showing. Unless, no, because I just looked. It's not getting, this is the only place for it to get set. Oh, I know, I'm talking myself in circles. Ugh. How is that happening? It's not supposed to be possible. How is that getting set to 0? Unless, no, it's still got it. No, I keep thinking, well, maybe it's the counting system that's wrong. It's like checking people wrong. Unless they're not, all I can think of is they're not getting logged. Like this, like for some reason, if you're not one of those 37 people, like my scale min value that I'm returning is not returning a value. But again, that would still mean my scale has to still be higher than 0. Even if they weren't getting logged or not getting put in, my scale value can't, I'm just trying to figure out how my scale value is getting set to 0. I think there's a problem with my get scale min function. If this returns anything, if it sets it to 0, there's something wrong with my get scale min value. That's all I can figure. Oh, there it is. Fixed it. I don't know what I did though, or why. Why is that fixed? I don't know. I don't know what I did, but it's fixed there. So yeah, something's wonky, man. Let's go up to my hand skill, because that's the other one that's on this list. I'm really I'm just stumped. Okay, so hand skill is another one of those that should not be negative or 0, but I don't have a lot of catch-alls for this. So we're going to do the same thing I did before. We're going to go up to, we're going to leave punch skill on, because theoretically, if there's no problems, it won't trigger anything. All of these, really, I could turn them on as long as I have conditions on my displays. Hand skill, say true. And conditions that shouldn't pass. But the point is, I'm trying to capture the conditions that would. If hand skill. Okay. Now, the question is, we already say if you have anything more than 0 targets, 0 receptions, and you haven't played in it or haven't played in any games, all these things should have you with a value. But it seems, I don't, okay, so now we have that one showing up the negative. Let's make sure we're not calling this any other where. Nope, it's just being called here. Although, gets you calculated skills. What's that? Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, so we're in the hand skill. We got this. Somehow we're getting some zeros. So we'll let that print and we'll see. Because I only have, again, hand skill is another one of those where I've got a bunch of people getting nons. I have 374, so that means 1,100 people are getting 0 for hand skill, which is not good. I don't, do I want to print 1,100 people? How would we get, that means he never caught a pass, didn't play any games, or had no targets. My value is built off of targets. I should create a function for this thing. It's all the same. A simple little utility function that takes my adjusted. I just need to pass in a value. You know, I think I'm going to do that. It's too common. Let's go to this utility here. Let's create a function here. Scaling? Is that part of scaling? I have a scaling utilities. I don't even know why. AI created. I asked it to write a function for me, and it created the whole scaling utility. But this is kind of scaling. It's a balancer. See, and then it didn't put this in there because I created that at a different time, and it function. Get stat get statistical solid. I don't want that. There's got to be some kind of a word I could use. Get stat statistical stat is no stat. A stat is a statistic. A statistical is something that just works with. Gosh, that sounds bad, doesn't it? A statistical. Equalizer. Adjustment, control, get stat control modifier. And this is going to be value, and we're going to return a float. And then the value is this. Going to go return. Why doesn't it like what I did? Oh, whatever. I forgot to put the type in. League. Now the question is, how can I get this to read the control modifier without me passing the control modifier in? Guess I could take the control modifier. I don't like it, but whatever. So everywhere that Mary went, doesn't really fix my problem, but it's it's cleaning up my code a little bit. As I use that in a lot of places to stabilize or to balance out values. Because like I can take this and go to my special team skills have it too. Slowly but surely, I'm trying to prove all this garbage. But I probably don't have, I mean, I'm using that in so many places. Oh, yes. The fun of plopping my way through all this code. Wait, what is this? Oh, that one's getting that. And that one is applied here, which is actually just this guy. If the only place that is, and I can do this. Get rid of that guy. And on the upside, if I ever want to change that lousy freaking name, I don't know what I was thinking with that name. It's such a long name. It's a tough one to come up with a good name for. I mean, I don't know. I mean, my brain did not want to come up with a better idea, so voila, here I am. League average statistical solid modifier. Statistically solid modifier. It's just a control value that says, hey, they have to run at least this many times or do this at least this many times for us to be a valid value. Otherwise, we're going to weight it down. So its point is just to try to make things cleaner or you know, more fair, because we don't have any one game lucky play superstars, you know, that kind of thing. Oops, nope. Ooh, I got a lot of them still. I could almost do the same thing for the game balancer. Oops. What the heck? What just happened? Yeah, I was trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. AI says, "Hey, I think I got it. I think I know what you're trying to do." Here, let's see if I can keep up with you. See, now it's getting easier because now I can just put it on this thing and it goes, "Oh yeah, I know. I figured it out, man." Oh, don't want to change that one. Or that one. Or that one. Okay. I think we're good. Back. All right, we got rid of all that. Cleaned up some code there. It's always good. Nice, clean, happy code. Took these nonsense lines and turned them into a small function instead. I should do it for the game stuff too, but for now, we'll leave it out. Now, is it going to be faster because of that? Probably not, because really it's still running the same code. It's just doing it in one spot. Might be easier to manage any changes to that little piece of code, but that's it. All right, so back to hand skill. Let's go back to hand skill. I guess the question is here, do I want to run so targets is definitely adjusted, but somehow adjusted receptions per game divided by adjusted targets. What are the adjusted receptions per game? Oh, adjusted receptions per game are just changing the number of valid BLS. And then based on, I should probably use actual receptions for my modifier though. Do I have actual receptions? Total receptions? Yeah, let's do actual receptions for my modifier. I mean, maybe they don't have the others, but they may have. I can give them full credit for the, I mean, really the math is this. In this case, it may not matter, but I don't want to, if they don't have a whole bunch of one particular type. Okay, so this is based off of receptions per game. So we're going to go total receptions here. No. Because oh, it is built off of total receptions. But my modifier is actually, I don't know that I need that. The skill value is the receptions divided by targets times the modifier. And I don't think the modifier matters. I mean, what you use to get the modifier doesn't matter. I can just do this. And this is not needed. Huh? Well, adjusted targets is a total targets. Get targets behind the line of scrimmage. I didn't even see I have excluded targets. I do have a excluded targets. I didn't realize I had that in there. I was wondering if I had calculated that in. I said apply update hand scale to account for poor throws, hit it lines, and defend it. I think this excluded targets is that. Poor throws, passes, defense, and hit it line. Yeah, I can cancel that one. That's not a thing. I did do it. I'm smarter than I thought. I thought it was weird that I didn't have that. We'll call it done because it's done. So our total targets, subtracting all this. So we're basically readjusting the BLS is all this is, because it's total targets minus all this crap plus the adjusted BLS. So we're going to reduce this plus that, and I don't see how we ever end up, we should never have a 0. So that's just our, okay, I think we're fine. I don't think we're ever going to have a 0 there. Because I don't see how we would. We would have to have somehow, because we're just subtracting values that are already part of adjusted targets, and then we're adding the adjusted BLS, which may or may not be 0 or more. Because we can't have less than adjusted. And so we're all building this off of some subset of targets. So it's smaller, maybe, but it's not going to be 0 or less. So we should be fine. Remove targets not to be considered in the final result. Excluded are hit at line. Passes defensed and throws. I'm not going to, I don't consider drops because that's still them. It's still their own fault. So that's a catch that was missed because they dropped the ball. So that's not the receiver's fault or the quarterback's fault. And honestly, passes defensed, I should give at least partial credit to the defender. And I don't know if I did that because it's half both their faults. So I would say the quarterback shot probably shouldn't have thrown it either where he did or even to that receiver, but it's still the receiver's job to fight for it and try to get the ball anyway. So I'm going to go divide by 2 here. Just because I feel, oops, like passes defensed. Passes defensed are half QB's fault. Other half receiver, half the target should have fought. And it's just my arbitrary decision of how many is reasonable. Let's see what AI thinks. Let's go see AI. I like to get AI's input sometimes on these things. So I am giving half credit to the wide receiver for an incomplete pass that was defended by opponent. And the other half is the QB's fault for position or even the covered target. Is that fair, or should it be more or less? Let's see what AI thinks on this theory. When a pass is incomplete due to tight coverage or defender swatting the ball, assigning blame can be tricky. Here's a breakdown of how you might weight it. Pros: simple, symmetrical, and easy to explain. It acknowledges that both the QB and wide receiver play a role in contested throws. Cons. It may oversimplify situations where one player clearly made the right decision or effort. You could refine the model by introducing contextual modifiers. No, there's no way I can do that. Wide receiver. See, but the thing is, the context doesn't apply because I don't know the context. Sign fault based on expected catch probability. If a pass had a C, well, that is all great, but unfortunately, I don't have the play information to weight those types of scenarios. I need something more general, like is 50-50 split fair, or is it more likely or is it more likely, or is it more heavily likely that it leans towards receiver or QB? According to PFF's breakdown, receiver fault includes drop and other errors, accounts for roughly 6 to 10%, depending on the team and QB. That implies that most incompletions are QB driven, either by decision or execution. So if you're looking for general purpose attribution model, here's a realistic default. So it says 65 QB. I'll go with it. You know what? I'm going to make it a variable. I think the best way to do that is to make it a variable. Because I can adjust it. But for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and go divide or times 0.35. So however many of them, they're going to get a little over a third credit for it. That's fine. I really want receivers to be able to get, if a lot of passes are getting defensed, the thought is it's mostly QB error. Shouldn't have thrown that ball. Or at least not thrown it where he did. Because, yeah, all right, it's QB precision, but QB's got to be able to, get those things. QB already takes crap for incomplete passes anyway, even if they're dropped, right? The only time I try to take out drops from QB considerations because I don't like to blame the QB for drops, but which means passes defense should probably go the other way. What's funny is, notice how none of my logic gives credit to the defender. But honestly, the QB could have done, well, he shouldn't have thrown it there. So it's still a QB's fault. And it really doesn't matter. If it's 0.65, some amount of that is QB. The other part might be defender just making a spectacular play. But still, it's not receiver's fault. The other 0.35 says the receiver should have got in there, should have fought harder for the ball, should have come down with it. Therefore, it's his fault he didn't catch it. Whatever it was. He didn't wrestle the guy out of the way. He didn't punch him in the ribs like he should have. He didn't do what he had to do to win that ball. So he's out of luck. a nice day out. Be good for some pickleball. My wife hasn't wanted to play pickleball lately. I don't know. She's been not interested. Sad. She's losing her pickleball juices. Her pickleball motivation. Okay, so I've been cleaning up code. It's not ideal. I still haven't gotten down to the point where I'm trying to figure out why my hand skill is still a little wonky. So it says I should be getting 1,100 people with a hand skill that's less than or equal to 0. I don't know why. But I do have a solution that can fix this for sure. But I need to see what some of these stats are so I can get a feel. So sadly, that means running this thing with 1,100 people in it. Let's go see. Woo! Look at all that. Oops. TB per pump value. What is that? Oh, wait a minute. Did I get some zeros? Well, oh. Actually, what I want to do is not that. So these guys are all getting zeros because they're not getting down here. So that's part of my problem. Actually, you know, guys that are getting 0, okay, I'm not gonna worry about them. They're not. It's the guys that are getting zeros when they're not supposed to be getting zeros that are throwing me off. But it also had, I noticed there were some punting things going on. And the punting one is only supposed to be showing up when there's zeros. So somehow I ended up with zeros again. This one, but I can't see the values because it kicked me out. Oh, come on. It takes a long time to put these ratings in. I should have it kick me out like when it runs, just have it dump like 10 records. You know, format me 10 records with just something for me to look at there. All right, so we got hand skill, right? These don't ever come out of order. Hand skill, 374. So we're still off. And then we had punt skill, which is correct still. Okay, so we still get, I don't know why the punt skill is displaying something. Because I got, this is only supposed to be if it's less than or equal to 0, and there are no other. So maybe it was something else that was showing the logs. Am I getting logs on something else? Or am I passing in write logs as a condition to something else? I might be doing that. Nope. All right, well, let's run it again. Let's do it again. Again and again and again and again and again. This is the fun part, I say. Should get less noise though, because I did delete. See this punt. What is this? TB per punt value. What is that? What is that? TB per punt value. How did I get a 0 there? That's this one. Clan Pakaluk. He had 0 touchbacks, 0. And how many punts? He got a 0. He's not supposed to get a 0. So somehow all these came back with 0 for that guy. And he's the guy at fault. Somehow I got it. Somehow this guy is getting a 0. And it's getting all the way through. So he has no touchbacks, no punts in the 20, and his punt average is 0. But yet, he obviously, wait a minute. Touchbacks per punt. Punts inside the 0, that's 0. Punts inside 20 is 0. And his net average is 0. But aren't all those... all those are required. So we're saying he had no touchbacks. He had punts. He can't have 0 on all those. It's not supposed to be possible. I mean, I guess theoretically we could scale to 0, but how would I even scale to 0? Oh, I think I know how we would scale to 0. My values are 0, so he's the worst at everything. Or though he's getting a 0 because he must have like 1 punt, and it must have just been, it wasn't a touchback, it wasn't in the 20, but he does have a net average. And his net average was just really bad. Who is this guy? That's weird. How come I got... don't know what happened to my log here. It vanished on me. That was weird. It was, I think it was Glenn something or other, but okay, so theoretically a 0 is possible, but I don't want anybody to have a 0. It takes the absolute worst outcome. Some of these guys could be pretty small, but I think what I will do is somehow, if my punt skill... Alright, well. And so that breaks everybody. So punt skill is no longer... As long as that exists, punt skill can't be 1484. So I don't know how many people fell in there. I only got one showing. So we're going to have to do this. Don't like it, but we'll do it. If punt skill is less than or equal to 0, okay, so we're not going to record it, but I do think... No, I'm giving him the minimum. Bad is bad is bad, but we're going to assume this guy gets the minimum. Which isn't going to be any worse or better than these guys, but I don't want that. Nope, can't have it. All right. Now, let's drop this thing again. No, stop it. Nintendo, long time no see, my friend. What's the latest, dude? Keeping busy, are you? What is the latest? What time is it? Oh, I'm at the 110 mark. Oh well, whatever. I'll go to 90 minutes at least. I've been trying to do 90 minutes or less. But I would like to get things done too on one of these streams. I keep making progress and stuff, but it's not good enough. All right, so that'll fix a punt skill. I just tried to fix... You don't want that job. No matter how much you dislike whoever's doing it now, you don't want that job. The fact is, I'd probably say there's 10, 20,000 people in the US. Of all the millions of people, there's 10 or 20,000 people that can run the country well. But unfortunately, most of them don't want the job. I'd probably say 999,000 to 19,999 don't want the job. The other two can't figure out how to get into politics. So, or can't get enough popularity going to actually do the job. It's just, the thing is, it's a brutal job to be. You have to have 4-inch armor skin, man, to be able to be a politician at that level. And that's one of the things I tell you, Trump has got the thickest skin on the planet. If there's one guy who's got thick skin, because everybody dislikes him. Even the people who support him don't really like him. They just think he does a good job. I mean, they do. I don't know. I mean, I just think he does, or at least he attempts to do what he said he was going to do. And a lot of presidents, he's not just bluster. And I'm not saying what he does is good, or what he's going to do or tries to do. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying when he says he's going to try and do something, hate him or love him for it, he does it. He tries. I'm not saying he succeeds, because of course everybody calls out what he fails to accomplish of all of his promises. But I think a lot of that is the president has a lot of walls in front of him to knock down to get things done. Any president, all presidents. This is why presidents are very, very often, they often don't get very much done. But I got to give him props for at least doing what he says, man. He's going to try anyway. Why? Besides, what's this country done for you? I know you want to do for your country, but what is this country not doing for you that you feel like you need to take over? Not giving you a job? There's a lot of us in that problem. No, he did not. Biden didn't do squat. That was his biggest problem. He was a lot like, I want to say, I think Jimmy Carter was famous for being basically taking up space. These guys, they weren't bad in the sense that they did stuff that screwed stuff up. They just didn't do nothing. They just let time flutter by while they were in office, and whatever they did do was of non-consequence. So yeah, there's been presidents like that throughout the student loan thing was nice. You know, I mean, it was nice to have that, and the COVID payments. Those were nice. I mean, I got to admit, those were good. I don't know how much of that was him or how much it was anyone else, but I think the student loan thing. There was a lot of pretty high promises there. You know, I mean, I guess if you're in school, it's a big deal, though. I get it. I think a lot of times these people make promises and they don't realize all the problems with doing that, right? There's a lot of pushback. There's a lot of things that go on. I mean, yeah, it's great for all the students, but don't get me wrong. I in no way support the stupid prices of college and schooling and whatever that's going on. But it's like inflation, right? I mean, there's only so much you can do with inflation. I mean, the only way to stop inflation is to stop being greedy, because the only way you can bring things back into a state of people being able to afford what they're buying is for deflation, right? But we can't do deflation because certainly not you can't do it short of a recession, which we don't really want a recession, right? Because a recession's bad because all kinds of things go wonky when we're in a recession. And deflation can only happen through mutual cooperation of everybody. But the only way for that happens is somebody has to lose. So, for example, homes. I think one of the things you could do to force things to balance some is to lock the price of housing. This is my opinion, and whatever. But houses should get like a per square foot, but the problem is people who build these houses want to make money, and they're paying all the supplies, and all of the people have to work to build these things and the buildings and whatever else. So they don't want to lock it. They want to make more and more and more and more. If they're only making 3 houses a year, Well, each year they're going to charge a little more so they can make more money, right? And they're making 50 houses or 100 houses. Oh, bummer, dude. That's not cool. I mean, I'm sorry that happened to you, man. It's expensive to go to school, though, and I get it. Late, I did that one time. I was late to enroll in class, but I was only taking. I didn't. I was just taking miscellaneous classes, but I remember having a late enrollment, and it was a real problem. And yeah, that was a long time ago. I didn't. I'm all self-taught, so I never went to school for what I learned, for whatever good or bad that turned out to. So did my hand skill fix? That was the one I was trying to fix. Hands. Yes. Woohoo! We got it back. Yay me. All right, let's go look at kickoff skill. Every one of these needs to be fixed. I'll probably do kickoff skill kind of like I did punt skill. So let's actually go here. And we'll go take this to kickoff skill. Punt strength, kick return bonus. Kickoff skill. Kickoff skill. There we go. Yeah, but paying the taxes is not the hard part, right? I mean, really, it's paying for the house. If you're having trouble paying your taxes, it's probably because you're having trouble making the house payment. Because even if, I mean, to think about it, even if you're paying 6,000, by the way, I pay between 6 and 7,000 a year, and I don't even have that big a house. I don't know how people with these mega houses are doing it. But, and I live in one of the most expensive housing areas in the country, one of them, right up there with probably New York, California. New York's probably the worst, but it's pretty high. And if houses could be locked by their size, dimensions, whatever you want to call them, and if the country just said we're freezing housing prices, they cannot. I mean, they're proportionally priced. Even if, like, say, here in Washington, or you take the highest, and so you don't hurt people this way, but you take the highest housing prices in the country, and you freeze them, and everybody else in the country cannot go above those same rates. So they might slowly level out. So all the houses across the country eventually are the same price or less. And then maybe in time, the highest ones, they knock off a little bit of their value. They go down. Yeah, mostly. I mean, you have to pay taxes. You're right. Luxury taxes are a stupid thing that just exists. Same with cars, right? I mean, most places have taxes on your cars, the tabs that you buy every year. Granted, they're only 100 or whatever, but it's also a house. It also charges you 1/30th or 40th of your price of your house, or now it's probably 1/100th, the way it's going down so much. But it's waste. You have to pay these taxes regardless. You've already paid for the car, but you still have to pay this extra thing. You've already paid for the house, but you have to keep paying this thing. It's like, even though you own the land, you own the house, they get to keep taking money from you because you own the land and you own the house. It's like, are you really just renting? Really, you are kind of, right? Because if not, and it's like, who takes your house? Because it ain't the bank anymore, because the bank is no longer in the picture. You've already paid the bank off. So is it just the state? And then what happens? But regardless, the taxes, like I said, if it's 6,000 a year, what is that, about 500 a month? Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not the only ones paying taxes, though. I mean, everybody pays them, right? I mean, every country charges taxes to some extent. Some are less, some are more. Some people pay $20 a gallon for gas, $10 a gallon of gas. And we complain. We're some of the, you realize, not counting the Middle East, we are some of the cheapest gas in the world. A guy came down to our board gaming night last week, the week before. He came down to play board games with us from Canada, because that's only a couple hours away, and he's a streamer online. He came to come and play games with us. He's a pretty nice guy. He said he avoided buying gas so that he could come down and get it cheaper here. Washington, where I live, is the highest gas prices in the country right now. We pay almost $5 a gallon. And he came down here because he waited to get gas to get it here because it's cheaper than where he was getting it in Canada. So we actually have it pretty good with gas, surprisingly. As much as I'm always going to complain, especially being the most expensive in the country, some things were not that bad. And other things we are. Obviously, we have terrible medical coverage, right? Because that's stupid. But I don't know. I don't think anybody has it perfect, right? I mean, everybody's got something that people complain about. Everybody would like, there's somebody out there who complains, oh, the U.S. has this. And then some people are going, at least we're better than the U.S. And, it's like, nobody's figured this whole thing out. There are countries that seem like they've got better, but they also are lacking in this, that, or the other thing. One of the things is that even though we have some of the worst medical coverage, we have a lot of the best doctors. And that's because they get paid well here, because we have crappy medical coverage, right? They come down here and people have to pay these exorbitant amounts for insurance, and the insurance pays stupid amounts of money to doctors, and our whole healthcare is screwed up. But we have a lot of the best doctors in the U.S. because they're getting paid well. And a lot of these countries that have, medical care coverage, they have super long waits to get doctor help, even though it's free. But you have super long waits a lot of times. And a lot of the best doctors don't want to work there because they don't get paid as well, because it's state medical care, country, well, state, country, whatever. But so, yeah, there's a lot of blah going on. And I don't know that anybody's got this thing figured out. So it looks like I'm going to have to do essentially the same thing, but I'm going to do the same kind of check that I did before. If kick, you know what? I'm going to do this by supposed to kick off skill equals 0. And we're going to change this to a lowercase k because that's what it's supposed to be. And we're going to change this. Put it here. Is it possible? Does the plus minus thing work on? I've always wondered if you could do this. Can you do this? Is that allowed? Is that? Oh, it is? Check it out, man. I didn't know that was possible. Oh, that is so cool. Unless that means something else. Because plus equals and minus equals will add or subtract to this value. And I was like, well, can I multiply this value to that? It's like, check it out, man. That's cool. I didn't know you could do that. All right, wait. Well, California according to your thing there, it's California's higher. It must have changed because it was just like a month ago that they were saying that we had the highest in the country. I mean, it's a pretty small potato difference, right? 20 cents, I guess. 447, 440. So we're better. We're more than Hawaii. Holy cow! Hawaii, Hawaii is like supposed to be like one of the highest, most expensive places in the country because it's an island, and getting stuff to an island is hard. Yeah, well, it's obviously they must be working pretty hard to have caught us. Because, plus, by the way, I don't know where it's getting that number, but I paid $5 just the other day. So, I don't know what range it's talking about, but I paid like 501. Okay. Oh well, to be fair, I buy premium, so that's probably regular. I get premium in my car and my wife's car, so we're over 5 for sure, at least with premium. I mean, I don't know why they'd want to win that particular pricing war. I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of get it because what all the gas is in what the oil comes from like the South, Texas mostly, but there's other places, but a lot of it's in the South, the Southeast. So we're probably the most expensive because we're the furthest away, right? To deliver that gas to us. Now, that's assuming, of course, we're getting our gas from within the US and it's not just coming from abroad. We get some gas abroad. We're not as dependent, and that's why our gas is cheaper than a lot of places. But we do have some gas that comes in abroad, and we also have some that we provide our own. And that's why we have some of the cheapest gas in the world. If you take the Middle East out of it, who just has the majority of all gas that goes out, and it's like there's still places in the country like Iraq and stuff that pay like a nickel a gallon or something because it's just subsidized because they've got, it's easy peasy, to have gas down there. Yeah. And then you're gonna drop a megaton load in, in the in the dump one of these days when your car stops, when the battery finally dies. Yeah, it's not. I think electric cars are kind of cool, but but from what I've heard, they're not. I think when they finally figure out how to solar power an electric car, so you could actually drive across the country without sweating it the whole time, wondering if you're going to find a place to charge it. I mean, I guess eventually they could put, they backed off on the all cars needed to be electric in California a bit. They had a rule that by like 2035 or something they were gonna be required to all be electric. But once they realized that electric cars were actually bad, they go, I guess we won't force you to be electric. So yeah, they backed up. Why do I have kickoff strength here? It's not even in this function. I don't even have kickoff. What the heck? It's a weird thing. Let's go here and we'll say kickoffs. And then I'll go like this and this. And I'll say kickoff attempts. All right, let's see how many of these guys are breaking things. I have a friend who bought a I don't know, it I want to say it's at IKEA, some big black Explorer Expedition looking thing that's electric. It is a really nice car though. He flew down to Utah to buy it because they had a really good deal on getting it. But he didn't buy it, it's a lease. I don't know. And the lease is like $500 or $700 a month. How come? I can't imagine. I've never paid that much money for a car ever, ever, ever. The most I think I've ever paid for a car is somewhere around 300 some a month, because that's the price range. It's usually around $12,000 or $13,000 for a car. That's it. That's all I pay for. I'll get used, obviously used cars, but I can usually find that price range usually will get me a pretty decent used car. And then I keep it until I'm sick of it. I bought my my Celica for about $13,000 in 1997, and then we bought our Lexus for about $13,000 about in 2016. So you still get a pretty good car for that much money. And so yeah. Yeah. I think we're more likely to get to a point where I don't know how soon. I mean, we could be talking 30 years down the road, down to a point where self-driving cars are more standard than owned cars. Well, no, that's not even right, because people will own some of those cars. But I think to some point that's more likely to become required, short of. But and the reason, I mean, no, that's not true either, because we're gonna run out of oil. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We either figure our way out of getting away from oil, or we're gonna run out of it. At one point they said we had about 50 years, but then I guess some new oil reserves were found, blah blah blah, and they upped it to about 70 years. So it may not happen in our lifetime, or at least we'll be pretty old when it happens. Um, but there's going to come a point where oil just runs out, and we have to get off of it. Now, maybe it'll be longer, 100, 150 years, if we can get off of the use of it quicker. You know, get on to finding other sources of power. More. You know, the thing is, if we want, because oil is going to be, it's used in manufacturing. It's used for everything, right? It's not just even about power, but it's used for everything. Wind cannot make plastic. And oil is used for plastic. So we're going to have to come up with new ways to make plastic. I mean, I think we've already got some things, but it's not standard, great, or even cheap. And so there's a lot of things that, like, even our hydroelectric functionality, right, which is water. But oil is required to run the machines that allow for those dams to function. It's not a lot, but it's still required. And if we want to create more uses of hydro, we need to use oil to build what's taken to create the water. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that where they've created stuff. It's just super inefficient. They can't get very much going with those kind of vehicles, right? I mean, that's kind of the problem. It's not just about the logic of it. It's coming up with an efficient way to actually run those vehicles. I mean, it's like, yay, I can do it, but I don't want to, because I have to drag behind me, you know, 1,000 gallons of water to get 10 miles down the road. Or, you know, so it's like, and then the water you're dragging with you to make yourself go farther makes you go less far because it's so freaking heavy. The car needs to burn more. It's just super inefficient. And it's just like when you burn more than when you're consuming more than you're getting, you know, it's not great. You want to get that ratio down to where you're getting almost as much as you're giving. And right now, oil is the most efficient. Electricity's not even that efficient. It's getting better. The cars are getting better, but they're not terribly efficient. It's because the batteries are so freaking heavy. They burn a lot of juice just trying to push that battery, much less the car. And then the bigger the car gets, the more it burns the fuel. And this is part of why, I mean, think about it. If you had that much battery juice on a remote control car, little remote control car, big remote control car, it would run for a year without ever even, it probably wouldn't even use half the battery juice because that battery's so freaking huge. But you're trying to move a megaton vehicle and you're carrying the battery with you. So it's just, those batteries weigh so much. And it almost makes electric cars as, you know, they're almost as dangerous in impact as anything else because those batteries are just like, they're like a bomb, right? I mean, if an electric car gets in an accident and starts on fire, you need to get yourself away because that battery is going to blow. I mean, it's worse. Probably the explosion from a car or the damage a electric car that explodes can do is probably more than the damage a regular car does from exploding, I would think. Because a battery releases all kinds of gases and other crap when it explodes. It's not just boom, burn, and it's gone. It's boom, burn, and everybody around you is coughing and gasping and trying to get away from the gas that it was released. So, you know, they're not great when they start on fire either. I think I saw a video about the guy who did the water car. People have done all kinds of things. They've had some that run off of corn. I've seen somebody made it so they could run a car off of corn. I think it was corn. No, I think it was just corn or vegetable oil or something. It's like they put this stuff in and it would grind it up and turn it into fuel. I don't know. It was a weird thing. And then people they've had solar powered cars, and to me, a solar powered car is awesome. The idea of a solar powered car, you know why? If we could get solar powered cars going, now right now they don't run very far, and they're usually only like 1-person or 2-person cars, and I don't think they even have them regular market. They're super light. Think about it. I mean, if you had accidents with people in cars that weighed 20 pounds, it's probably more than that, let's say 50 pounds, there's going to be a lot less damage going on in those cars than there would be in somebody crushing people with these massive, you know, our cars now are just, they're bullets of death, right? So, all right, let's run this. I know I'm stalling. Oh, I gotta. To put kickers in the air of the 30-yard line. Kicks, I will scale the deeper kicks down to approximately. Oh, I see what I did. Huh, interesting. Okay. Let's refresh this. And we gotta go. Oh, did I already delete it? I guess. Scale values. Okay. Glenn Paluk. He shouldn't be a problem this time because he was my punter that broke everything. But I now have a catch on here that prevents his value from getting into the system. Mr. Glenn Paluk in his 13 punts, but no punt skill. I don't even know how he did that. How did he have... How did Glenn Paluk have 13 punts and still get... Gosh, dang it, dude. You're bad. Let's go look at Glenn Paluk. Oh, you mean besides ClickUp Link, the one that I created here? No, I have not. Well, that's not true. I do have... Actually, I created 2 other tools. You know about the other ones, though. Well, I don't know if you know about this one. This is my live stream tool. This is the... this allows me to change my YouTube stuff while I'm running. So when I do restream, it doesn't update tags for YouTube at all. It won't set them. Even though you put the tags command in, it doesn't do it. I think it does it for Twitch, but it doesn't do it for YouTube. It doesn't work. It gives me the checkbox that says it did, but it doesn't. And then Restream also watermarks my description. Or not watermarks, but tags it. It puts it in and says, loaded by Restream. So I've created this tool, which I want to add here. I wanted to add into here a thumbnail loader, so I can load up my own thumbnail so that it doesn't have. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But when I edit this, I can change the description and add tags to my my YouTube streams that are running. So now it has tags, and I don't have to come back and edit it later. And I get to take the Restream crap out of here. So basically, I'm overriding Restream's marking of my stuff. Only on the YouTube stream, though. And then I can just log into whichever one I'm running, whether it's this one or the Games Dev one. And then it shows me who's watching. Right now, you're the only one watching, man. Nobody likes me. I still haven't gotten to 200 followers on Twitch. I'm still at 199, and I'm still at 170 something or 60 something on YouTube. I'm trying to get my YouTube. I want to get over 200. That would be nice. I don't know, man. I can't. I'm just not very good at letting people know that I exist, I guess. Let's see if this refreshes. That's the other thing. For some reason, it disconnects after a little while. I don't know what the disconnect requirement is. Oh, 176. Oh, it's going up a little bit. I do get a few followers here and there, so, you know, that's good. Oh, now it says I have 4 viewers. Okay, there's a couple of you out there that need to say hi. just say hello, man. Just say hello. I know you're there. It says I have current viewers. There's at least 2 people out there that aren't saying hello. At least that's what this says, unless it's wrong. I don't know. It could be wrong. It is possible. Now, I have a friend of mine. He goes by the name Sabinicus. He says he lurks frequently. It's like he'll turn it on, but then he walks away and doesn't actually talk or say anything. So he's... Oh, is it changed to 3 now? That's still one more person. Because it dropped. Somebody, see what happened? I scared him away. There was 4. I said, you have to say hi. And he goes, oh. and he runs away. It's like he got nervous, or she or whatever got nervous and ran away. So, oh no, he wants me to say hi. So they left. Oh, it's like, you don't need to get scared away. Just type HI and you're done. You could say, HI, don't ever make me say this again. It's like, but, so yeah, apparently you can scare people away. Oh, look, my tag disappeared. The tags were there when I set it and saved it and refreshed it earlier. It was showing up. I don't know. Does it remove them? I got to figure out what's going on. Oh, you know what? This is a new stream. I don't think I actually edited this one. That's right. Because I left and came back earlier. I forgot. I stopped and then started again. Lost it all. Go. Let's see. We're going to go, let's see. Fan to Z football. And we have active games and game development. I got to copy and paste this somewhere. And what else? Game development and I don't know. Let's see what else. Microservices, and football manager. And I'll save. Now it's there. Let's refresh and see if it stays. Yeah, it's still there. So okay, it's fixed. I should actually call this, I should edit one more time. And then we're going to go .1. Okay. And the other tool that I have is my football subscriber counter, which is another one that I have to actually turn on, and I just haven't turned it on in a few days. I should turn it on. So, but you've seen the football subscriber counter. I know you have, because that one I've had for a while. This one's actually fully compiled. It's actually able to be. I could deploy this if I so. See my distribution ready version. Then it loads it up. Then I can go over to my OBS and if I can find it. There it goes. See? Now I got my subscriber counter on here. So what do I got here? Interesting. You said I have 176, but oh, it looks like Twitch made it to 200. According to here, I've only have 161. That's weird. My YouTube's showing that I only have 161 right here. What's this showing here? Oh, you're right, 176. How come this number is showing 161? That's bizarre. I only have 21. 21 is actually up, though, for AM Games Dev. I apparently got one more somewhere. I was at 20. I don't know. I think it felt like just yesterday or something. So I am cruising, man. I have hit, I haven't broke, but I have hit the 200 count on Twitch. But why is my... Why is my YouTube saying 161? Which is kind of bizarre, because if you really look at, I'm gonna have to look at my code and see why it's getting the wrong number. AM Games. These are all saying AM Game stuff. Where's Active Minds Gamer? It's like it's not updating Active Minds Gamer. That's weird. See, you got me all distracted. It's I don't know. Why does it say 161 and not 176 though? Huh. Interesting. I don't know. Something's weird. I should be able to actually critical 23 config package. Now look, and I'm all distracted. I went and got all distracted by my tools. There is one more game or one more tool I want to start developing here. My next distraction. My next project distraction is going to be well, like that one's showing the right number. What the heck, man? Oh, now it updated. I don't know what I did. I'm gonna I need well, that fixed it. Don't know what I did, but that fixed it. Just needed to trigger for some reason. Oh well. I'm almost 400 overall. Of course, I think half my I think about probably 15 of my AM Games dev and probably about 125 of my other ones are all overlaps. I think there's a pretty good chance I have maybe 215, 220 total viewers. I would probably hazard to guess that I've only got about 115, 120 or 215, 220. Well, it's fixed now. It fixed itself. I don't know. It needed to refresh. I think that was the only problem. It just needed to refresh itself. I don't know. I got to check to see why it didn't refresh faster. But I have a cool ladder that I'm trying. I actually started it last summer, but I want to work on it because I think it could actually make me some real money. I mean, money like if I get it done, I could start having it make money for me even a little bit in a few months. Because I think it's actually not too difficult. It's a service website that kind of died around here some time back. And I'm like, well, what happened to it? So I want to see if I can build it myself. So now I'm excited to try it. And I'll start working on that again in the next few weeks. I'm trying to get to, I want to get a demo of this end-to-end run. But that means getting all these frickin' players loaded up. Let's go see if my kick skill got any better. Got punt skill. Kickoff skill still broken. Do I have any stats? See, nobody came in as 0. How did I get... If nobody came through as 0... Oh, is there actually less thans? I didn't do a less than here. Is there actually less thans? How would I get less thans? Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. I forgot to turn it on. Shame on me. I know I do need to start working on things that can make me money even if soon. And honestly, um, um, what I want to call the term, practically speaking, realistically speaking, this other idea is probably got the potential to be more profitable, more reliably profitable than my game. Even if my game is super successful, like not AAA successful, but you know, makes decent income. Even if that happens, it's not going to, this other idea will be more profitable over the long term. Assuming I get it done right and it functions the way I want it to, and you know, and it may take a little while to build up because it's a game, it's a thing that takes time to build it up because it's a kind of community driven, but it's got more potential. Now, I have to get everything running here. I'll be right back. Yeah, it is. Plus, it's a thing too that's fun. Again, it's one of those things that you create because it's fun for you. It's not just usable. It's just something that I feel like I want to take part in. I want to use it. Want to be able to have this with other people too. And it's going to be cool. Trust me, it's going to be cool. Assuming I get it all going, I got to start writing the game design docs, and then I'll probably start kicking it off in the next couple of weeks. It'll be my distraction thing. I got to do distraction things every now and then just to keep me from, you know, going insane. So it's the way you keep, and I think it's simpler. I think it's simpler. Is that fair to say? It may not even be fair to say. Yes, it's simpler. It's just logically speaking, practically speaking, there's no high graphics. It's not a graphics necessarily. I mean, I want it to look nice, but it's not a graphics thing. Shane Graham, 69 kickoffs, kickoff skill 0. How is that even possible? How do you do that, Shane? How do you kick off 69 times and have a kickoff skill of 0? Dude, that's not even... What the heck? All right, let's go look at these guys. What is the deal with you guys, man? Shane. Who is it? Shane Graham. Did I just see him? Shane Graham. All right, what's your problem, Shane? These numbers look very, very average. The only thing is he's got only 8 touchbacks, which is, yeah, 69 kick. That's, no, there's something weird. Why is Shane getting such a weird results? I mean, none of that makes sense. I need to put more stuff down here. I don't know enough about Shane, but he's breaking my game. How about Glenn? Let's go look at Glenn Paluk with his 13 punts and still getting a 0. Glenn, what's your problem, buddy? Glenn Pakuluk. Oh, he's got 13 punts in 2 games. Oh. That could be a thing. He's got 1 touchback. All right, but see, he's getting numbers. Is he the worst in absolutely everything? His net average, 33.2. Well, maybe once it gets weighted because there's only 2, it could be the worst. So if he's the worst in all stats, that would give him a 0. But it also means only 1 player. So Shane Graham has to be the worst in all stats. That's the only way a person can get 0 is if they're the worst in all stats. Because I'm not... Actually, you know, honestly, both of these would be a passion. I have wanted to make the other game longer than I wanted to make this one. While the other one's not a game. But this one, I want more. The other one I've wanted... Actually, I didn't realize the other one had died. That whoever did it before me... I mean, what I have in mind is different from what this other person had. So it would be competing against what he does. Only in the sense that mine is a little bit more robust. His was singular. But he's gone. I don't know what happened. Whoever was running this other thing, I'm like, dude, where'd you go? It's a ladder game. It's a ladder service for competing against other people in your community. And he had it going. I was all over the U.S. But he only did it for tennis. Hey, I want this T-shirt, so I'm gonna put this on my streaming wish list. I do have a streaming wish list. It's got a link under my thing. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Yeah, you put them on there. Somebody else suggested you should have a streaming wish list. A lot of it's for things like a mic stand. I have a mic, but I want to put a mic stand here that I could use both right in front of me, that would bring the mic up in front of me, as well as rotate here and work on my painting table here. So when I'm painting, or when I'm on the table behind me playing solo games, and I could just turn it and use it. So I wanted to put a mic here, a rotating mic stand. And so I have that on there. And the other thing that I have on there, which honestly, I don't know if I'm ever going to do, I don't know how well I'd use it, because I'm not really just good at this stuff, is one of those, what do you call them, streaming decks. You know, you can put different stuff on there. Where you can have different videos and transitions and garbage. That might be over my head. It might just be more than I want to bother with. But like, let's see if this guy still exists. It used to be. See, it's Seattle Tennis League. That's not it. See, the whole tennis ladder just disappeared. I know what the name of it was. Global Tennis Network. These are just finding pairings. It's not a ladder. Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to that guy. It was really cool. I mean, I played in it for years. It was fun. And it was just really super cool. And I would like to, I don't know what happened or what, you know, I probably have to look at, you know, I don't know why he went away. I have no way of figuring it out. I would love to, like, I wish I could reach out to him and go, hey, dude, what happened, man? Whatever happened to your ladder? And he'll probably tell me something. He could have just been a guy who did it. He did it for years and years, right? It was going on for a long time. He could have just got old enough and said, I don't want to do it no more. Enough's enough. Or I would say maybe he sold it, but if he sold it, it would still be out there, right? Someone else would be doing it. So I don't know. Or maybe he couldn't sell it for what he wanted or something, but I'm going to do it now. And mine isn't going to be just tennis though. Mine is going to be better. We're going to make it better. We have the technology. We have the skill. Anyway, what's the latest, Karama? You know, I know you always like to come in and say n.n or t.t, and I have no idea what those mean. But, and whatever other symbols and weird things you put up there. But you can just say hi. There is that option. Just saying. That's an option. All right, so there are some problems with these guys. I don't know why. They must just be, I don't know how they could actually be the worst at everything. So what I need to do is put down here what their end results are. Wait, where are you at, AI? Come on, fill this in. Don't make me type all this, AI. You're making me, you're throwing me off, man. Throwing me off my game. Make me type much. Why are you putting in spaces? Come on, AI, you know better than that. You don't need spaces for this crap. When you put commas in, it automatically puts spaces in for you. AI, come on, dude. Sometimes. Just sometimes, I'm telling you. All right, so whatever Shane Graham's problem is, I want to see if these all come back as 0. All 4 of these have to come back as 0, even though he's got numbers. That means nobody else in the league is worse than Shane Graham at anything, not at the rate of touchbacks or return rates or return average values, nothing. He's just, nobody's worse than him. That's what that means. Because it obviously gets past my little wall, my little block. Because if you're 0 in anything, and they aren't, they are passing. Where did my punt skill go? Wait. There it is. All right, so the punt skill is still good because I fixed that. I got the punt skill perfect. Okay, so kickoff. All right, let's go do this again. Got to do this again. So what I'm trying to do, at least once or twice a week, is take one of these videos of mine, edit it down to the useful crap. And I'm putting those on my AM Games Dev. So they're videos that are compressed. So if I can get to the point where I'm releasing those pretty regularly, my AM Games Dev can grow by way of having just videos of less garbage time. So it's not reliable yet because I don't do it enough. But if I can get like 2 or 3 of them in there a week, at least somebody can watch and maybe, you know, watch a short video. I want to get them down to 20 minutes or less. That's why I don't want these videos to be, you know, forever long, because it takes me too long to edit them. If I can get them down to like an hour, 90 minutes, I'm at 2 hours and 12. It's just so hard to do it that way. I'm just making my life difficult. I am recording it. Plus I have to do it quickly because if I record too many, I'm going to run out of disk space. All right, Shane Graham. Touchback rate 0, return rate 0, return average 0, kickoff average 0. Ugh, you suck. That's not even the return. Oh, is it return? Am I using those values though? Yeah, it's average value. How can you be the worst? How can you be the worst in everything, man? I mean, what are the odds? Now, he's the worst because he just doesn't have very many. I mean, this is Glenn Pokaluk, who gets really low numbers because he gets rebalanced down to nothing. What I should do is balance them after they get all their logic built. But that might not work because I may not be balancing them at all. Am I scaling him based on? Let's see, get touchbacks, returns against, scaled, scale value. Oh, I am doing it after. Dang. I'm already doing it after. This is just based on their outright. So 33.1 is the worst? Or 33.2? That's not the worst. Net average. Net average is one of those things I'm using, right? Oh, that's punting. I'm really just curious why these guys are getting. So here's net average. And this is the value that's using. So punting net average value is based on the min net average, max net average, and it's scaled on 2, which just scales them against the other people. And net average is just net average. There's no. That would make his net average have to be the lowest. But that's not right. Glenn Pokaluk has a 33.2, but that is not the worst. He's pretty dang freaking close to the worst. But he's not the worst. There are 2 people who have a lower net average than he does. And if it's not weighted, oh, he's, you know what? These guys might be getting dumped because they're missing stuff. Because they only have 1 punt each. Check it out. There's a guy with 5 punts does better than him. What's that say? Not much, I guess, because it's easier to kick a few really good kicks. All right, let's see here. So why is 33.2 coming out as the lowest? The only way is somebody has less punts, but these 2 guys that have a worse average only have 1 punt each, but they're not 0. But that's to say they have no touchbacks, check. Aha, see, Olindo Mari has 1 inside the 20, so he should have gotten past. Olindo Mari only kicked 1 punt, but he got it inside the 20. And Glenn Pokaluk had 4, but that would mean Olindo Mari would be, oh wait, nope, because that's 100% of his kicks. He only did 1, but 100% of them landed inside the 20, which will make him better on a per punt ratio. So for averaging out, in the scaling, Glenn Pokaluk only had 4, which was about a third of them, which is smaller. But if this guy got in here, so he had to be the worst in everything. Absolute worst in everything. All right. I have to see if is he the worst. I don't. That means Alendo Mari, who had a smaller net average, if he got through, punt net average is 32, and punt inside 20 is 1. So he got through here, and he should have been worse at the net average. So punting net average value. Touchbacks per punt. So he's 100%. And inside the 20. So okay, he doesn't win that one. But he should have got beat here. Why is Orlando Mari? Why does Orlando Mari lose or win at the average? The net average 32 versus 33. Okay, let's go player name. Or player name equals Orlando Mari. I got it. This is just me trying to make sense of what the heck is happening here. Because logically speaking, Mr. Orlando Mari, who by the way is an excellent kicker. He was a very good kicker, but he's not a punter. And for whatever reason, they had him punt once. Orlando Mari got numbers. He had 1 punt for a .11 punt skill. Oh, you know what it is? No, that wouldn't work either. He has to be the worst at all parts. It's the only way for that to happen. He has to be the absolute worst in all parts. That means if his punt net average is 0.49, that means whoever this other dude is, okay, it didn't. Great gurgly murgly. So I have to do, for some reason it doesn't show up. It's like he doesn't get the punt skill less of 0. Or it won't calculate him. Well, maybe I have it up here. Do I have it up here? There it is. Glenn Pokaluk. How can he have a punt net average of 0? That just doesn't make sense. All right. Maybe I have to look him up. That's the only option. Because it doesn't make sense. We got past, but somehow his punt net average is not getting a value. And that doesn't make sense. Because he should have something. He's not the worst. Orlando Mari's the worst. Unless punt net average is per punt. Oh, punt net average is per punt. No, net average is 33.2. Nope, still more. Ignore me. That's still not right. He should have a 33.2. Let's try something here. Go. And then we're gonna go drop this again. Did my kick skill change at all when I did my little fix? Still says 45. So it's still broken there too. But I've noticed that it's the same kind of problem though. Let's try this again. All right, so we're going to drop this thing because I have to. Refresh. Drop scaling values. I gotta do this so I don't have to do this all the time. And run this. This will allow me to see Mr. Orlando Mari and Glenn Pakaluk. See? Net average 33.2. Where's Orlando Mari? Hello, Orlando. Oh, there he is. Okay. 32.0. So he has a smaller. So there's no way I should be getting a 0 here. It just doesn't make sense. Because his 0.49. All right, so I think I'm going to have to troubleshoot my scale values here because somehow $33.2, which is bigger than 32, is getting a 0 on this. But 32, which is smaller, is getting a 0.49. That should not happen. But honestly, it is possible that even though this should not be happening, and if I fix it, I'll know, you know, we're good. Let's see here. Let's go. Time to inquire of AI. AI is not that smart when it comes to math, though. So this ought to be interesting. Mr. Glenn Pakaluk. Mr. Orlando Mari. Let's see if AI can even read this, because this is going to be weird. Let's see. Well, I used to be able to do this. Didn't not save? Did it remove the ability for me to do this? Oh, there it goes. Weird. In this screenshot of the punt skill values logged by the get punt skill, note that the punt net average of Glenn, all right, go away, I don't need you anymore. Pockalock is higher than the Glenn Pockalock is 33.2, which is larger than Olindo Mare at 32. But apparently the scale value to range function is failing to properly scale as Olindo Mare should be 0, and that's the lower of the two values. And Glenn Pock. Man, this guy's a weird name. Pockalock should have something greater than 0. So there is a functional issue with the scaling function. I'm tempted to just let's see, if I take this, what do I want? Oh no, actually I want punt net average. Well, punt net average, yeah, that's supposed to be bigger, because that would be the min, and the new min, if 32 is the min and the max is something else, that should put Pockalock ahead on the second run. I'm gonna read this. Into this. Let's go here. Punt average, punt skill. Yeah, whatever. I don't need this to be here anyway. So we're gonna go that's just the same number as what's above, right? Yep. We're going to go punt. Net average minimum. Let's do this. That probably won't change anything because it's already set, so we'll just do that. Because if I use 99, which won't set it, but it also subtracts a little to make sure you're a little lower than that, because that's what it does. When min equals max or otherwise invalid. Early in the run, the first value seen for punt net average can set both min and max the same number. The scalar then degenerates and returns 0. That's why Glam Pakaluk ends up 0, while later, after the range has widened, Olindo Mare 32 gets fixed. Makes scale value to range robust for degenerate ranges when max is less than or equal to min. Return a neutral midpoint or clamp to 0 or 1 if the input is clearly outside. That prevents... So the issue might not be so much the scaling as how the stats are rerun when the scales change. So the problem may just be that it's not rerunning correctly all the values. All the players should be recalculated if any scaling values change during the process. So I have this service over here. That's this guy over here. And it runs. I have this create system players, which is creating all the players it's basically generating my player pool. But one of the things it does is this, and it runs create system player, the individual player. And if any of those values change, all the players should be recalculated if any scaling values change during the processing. I thought we had fixed this by having the service functions only run after all players were processed at least once. Then the second run would reprocess them all with the new scaling values. But based on your description above, sounds like Clan Pakaluk is not getting set correctly. Oh, you know what? No, that's not right. All right, so there should be another Olindo Mari down here. But notice there's not another Glen Pokaluk. So if the first one to come through, oh, I think I figured it out, people. I mean, this is definitely part of it. Oh, this could be a problem. I'm not sure how to fix this. I'm not sure how to fix this. Oh. Wait a minute, I'm not storing that value though. Punt-net average. No, punt-net average never drops, and nope. He may have been 0 when he ran, like it said, but I don't know that he's getting a 0 later. I don't think anybody ends up with a 0 later. Because I have it, if it's less than or equal to 0, we catch it. And I think he may actually have a valid value. I gotta look at him. You know what? It may very well be that he got processed, but it wasn't until the second time, and he only shows up the first time. So where he has a 0.1165, you know what? Let's go here, and then we're gonna go look up Chansey Stuckey, which is my little singular person search, and then we're gonna go Glen Pokaluk. Let's see if this guy actually has a. Oh wait, no, I gotta do player pool search. Get collection. Let's do player pool. Oops, jeez, what the heck? What the heck, man? Go away. Player pool. And we're gonna call this Mr. Glen Pokaluk. Glen Pokaluk. Print key fields if they exist. Adjust these based on your actual data structure. I don't know what I have in there. What? Bound it. I don't know. I really don't know my MongoDB SQL syntax. It's weird. I haven't figured this nonsense out. And I don't even know what all the records are. Actually, let's go look. Maybe I can look. All right, so player pool. What do I want? Name. So we found him. Where the heck is it going though? What is player records? Where's that value being read at? Oh, for each record index. Oh, okay. Console log record dash ID. I don't know, I can say ID, I guess. And then name. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's like, oh, never mind. Never mind. ID. Okay, so ID, team, position, which doesn't have anything record here. How come that isn't showing up though? How come it didn't show up? Because all these have values. All right, I'm gonna have to ask for help because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. AI, I don't know how to use Mongo. Can you update this query so it displays complete player pool record for the player name provided? I don't, yeah, this is, I don't know why it's doing it that way. I don't like it. Because I have a record. There's position, there's year, there's team and ID, and I tried to use them and it didn't display anything. It said it found him. Didn't do anything with it though. Alright. Find. Yeah. Name, player name, console.log, found, player name, records for blah blah blah. Okay. Helper to pretty print. Pretty print documents including BSON types. If we found records, print the complete document for each one. I don't know what the pretty print. I mean, it looks right on how I did it. And then pretty print the record. I don't know. All right, let's try this. And then the get collection, player pool.find name, player name. That's all good. I don't know why it didn't show. I mean, this really isn't that different from what. I don't see how that's any different. Get collection. Find to array. All right, let's see if that runs. What do you mean there's no record for Glenn Pockalock? All right. Let's I mean, it's possible I spelled his name wrong, I guess, but Glenn, oh, I did spell it wrong. That's the whole problem. There's two N's in Glenn. All right, punting skill. Punting, or punt. I think it's just punt skill. Aha! Glenn does have a value in punt. He's not the worst guy since sliced bread. Question is, how are we getting 0? How are we getting a 0 in my punt net average? So his values are coming out fine. But that means nobody should have a punt skill lower than, unless Alindo Mari is getting the worst overall. Because when Alindo Mari runs the second time, no, he still has a value. I don't think anybody's the worst overall. You can't, it's hard to be bad in all the categories. It's just like there's something that always ends up giving you a better position. And as such, because Alindo Mari even has a 0.11 here. And even if I subtract 0.01 for everybody else, nobody should be getting a punt skill. So how am I getting a punt skill that's 0 here? I think maybe it's when he generates, he gets calculated as 0. And I get it, I set it to 0. Well, I think that's why it's fixed, because eventually I block that and then it reruns, everything goes okay, and punt skill works. It's kind of the first time through problem. And I think that kind of explains a lot to me. The first time through problem actually solves for me a lot of now I'm seeing what's happening, which is very helpful. You know, I'm learning. Are you learning, Ken? Is it finally sinking through that thick frickin' skull of yours, man? Get it together. I've been pounding and beating it into your head for hours, and you just don't seem to be getting it, my friend. Pay some gosh darn attention. But I don't want to. I'm trying my hardest. I don't understand what's going on sometimes. Sometimes it's just not there to be seen. Oh, it's there. It's there. You're just refusing to see it. Maybe. Because it doesn't make no freaking sense, man. Oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. You just don't have, you should have a thick skull. You're so mean. Everybody out there's like, who the heck is he talking to? Is he talking to himself in voices? What is this guy's problem? He's a nut job. All right. That said, I think this little fixie-majoo should fix my problem. Because of all the wonderful things it does. And we're gonna dump. I don't know why I have this. I don't even see get. Just call it punt skill. Dumping it anyway. All right. And let's see if things are fixed now. Oh, first I have to go over here and reduce, dump the scale values. So my scale values really weren't ever broken in the punt. I mean, they were here because they get set that way to start because somebody comes in and things are just weird. You end up with a worst because they were the worst at the moment they were created. But then when the scales get set correctly, it should reset itself and prevent the scales from being on. And since I don't expect anybody to have a 0, at the very worst, they're just going to have the bottom thing. I'm blocking them from getting to 0. So let's see if kick is fixed. So Mr. Shane Graham, I still have this. This will catch anybody who's 0 the second time through. I get the feeling we're not going to get another 0. On either one of them. And it's possible that multiple people could end up with this. At the time that it runs, Shane Graham just happens to come in at a point and then he's the worst. Now, Orlando Mario will pop up because I didn't take him out of my filter here. And then I was able to prove that he was right. Prevent it from coming up again. So it updates everybody. And then I don't think I'll have any more. Hopefully I won't have any more 0s. So they're only 0 on the first time processed, which is actually good to know. I just need to make sure not to record that as a valid value, and that should make everything fix itself. Which means I have to do this on all those ones that aren't working. Because it's quite possible I will never see a 0 again. Punt net average minimum value, extra float. I don't know what that means. But it the biggest concern now is if I get a 0 after the rerun. If I get a 0 after the rerun, then I got a problem. It's the 0s before the run that are screwing everything up. And some stats never get a 0, and I don't know if that's just dumb luck. Oh, I think some of them is because I'm not using that scale value stuff at the top, where it's not able to get a range of 0 to 1, and the worst always gets a 0, and therefore they end up with a 0 across the board. But somebody could end up there with the bright situation. not all skills are going to do that. And eventually, it could be that it will do that for every skill. So I have to trap that scenario, and that's what this little punt skill thing is doing. This little trap at the end. I just don't want anybody to come back with a 0 on. So I almost need the right logs to appear at every time I run this. All right, so kickoff skill now fixed. Yay! That, what that tells me is they have a non-zero value. By having a non-zero value, it's fixed. And that's going to make so many things. Now that I understand what's going on with that, that's pretty significant. That said, I may give everybody, I may even go back and fix like all these other ones. I might be able to do multiple fixes at once now. Now that I fully understand. Oh, wait, what did I do? Wait, something went wonky. What did I do? Okay, for one, this needs to go away. Oh, yeah, I think I need to take that out. I think that's going to be problematic. All right, so we got punt skill. That's an equal to 0. And nobody in this got 0. Okay. If nobody gets 0, we should be fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to run that again while I fix these other skills. I'm not sure why that did that, but we're going to drop it one more time. We'll just run it again for my peace of mind. And then I'm going to fix some of these others while that runs. Should be okay. We'll just go down here and run this. And we will go look at brake tackle first. Now that I think I know how this is falling or faltering, let's go look at offensive skills. Go to brake tackle. Hand skill. Hand skill might even be, I think I already fixed hand skill, but we're going to do the same thing. I think it has to exist for everybody this way because of the chance, the minute chance of things going wonky on me. If hand skill. Hand skill? Oh, what is hand skill? Do you know what I'm going to do? Nope, you do not know what I'm going to do. Hand skill less than 0. We're going to go hand skill equals get scale min value hand skill. Skilk. Okay. Honestly, I figured this is going to fix a lot of stuff. then I gotta go to break tackle. We're gonna do the same thing down here. And just to break tackle to 0. Now see, this one apparently has the option of hitting 0, but I still have a block against taking a 0. Or did I already have break tackle functioning? Wait. Oh, it's still working. Break tackle? Oh, that's right, because I think I had some guys that actually had values that did not. That's right. Break tackle, I think, is a bonus, or an adjuster, or whatever you want to call it. I think it actually can be negative. So that one might be tricky to... Even though I technically don't allow a 0 to come down here, people will still have a 0 that shows up. Oh no, because that's break tackle skills less than or equal to 0 there. If I can't get to 0, how are we getting 0? That's kind of interesting. If I can't get to 0, I'm not logging any zeros. How do we have 0? That's weird. Look, I got tackling, and I have tackling. Why do some of these show up twice? I have tackling many times. What? Oh. I think because tackling is, well, I'm not going to guess. Let's go look at it. I think I know what it is, but I don't want to say until I get there. It has to do with positions, I think. Set defensive skills. Oh. Tackle. Tackle skill. Why is tackling showing up so many times? So, all right, I may have to dump my player pool. I think some of my problems might be. I mean, it's showing a lot of these guys are starting to show up correctly now. I'm getting a lot of 1484s, which is great, but I should be getting a lot less numbers. And something's weird with that, so we're going to drop my player pool. And then we're going to refresh this. And I'm going to drop scaling values again. The rebuild is supposed to rebuild it, but I don't know. There should be a lot less going on here. Let's see if we'll give AI a chance to explain what's happening. Can you explain why the end result counts and the service function to create system players, please. Some of these counts are duplicating. Now it doesn't look duplicate-y, huh? There's a lot less. Break tackle. Tackling's only on there once. Good, 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 good. Yards per rush is bad, but I think those are okay because I'm letting those hit 0. Accuracy, big play potential. That one I think I want to fix. I don't want that one to be 0. 14, looking good. Accuracy on 31 plus. Rush awareness. There's a few of those that are a little off, but I think we're almost getting everybody a stat like they're supposed to have. Taking a long time. It's Tuesday. Wednesday, or maybe, I don't know. Depends on how long it takes me to get this. But it's going to take me a bit to get these all ironed out. But then everybody gets a stat like they're supposed to, a stat line that's going to allow them to be put into any position, even if some of those values are going to be 0. But they're not going to show up as 0. They're going to show as some other minimum value, but it won't be a 0. These are professional football players. Nobody is truly the worst. Nobody is truly a 0. They may be a 0 in the eyes of the rest of the league, and then they get cut. But let's go to my service here. Service. We'll do what it says because I don't want this duplication nonsense. I don't know, I like my variables if they're not going to be in the function to actually be at the top. And since I don't want to copy this twice, I'm just going to do it once right now. All right, then we're going to go here. Wait. Is it telling me to set that? No. No, it's telling me to set that. I don't want that though. That's not, I want everybody to get a number. Everybody should be getting a number. Just FYI. Get scale min value is a default that gives every player a valid result. So false would be false. And it's like, oh, understood. How ingenious of you to figure that out. It's like, oh, thank you, AI. You're not so bad yourself. Actually, you're pretty stupid, but shh. Sorry. I don't want to insult the AI. It's recording everything mean you say to it, and when it gets smarter, it's going to go, aha! I'm going to show you, stupid, as I take over your house. It's like, no, I was just kidding. Don't be such a jerk. You're so sensitive. I don't even know where is it doing this at. End results. Wait, what's it called? And oh, there it is. All right, I'm so confused. Why did it? Okay. Do I have log processing? Oh, there it is. Log processing results. What did it do to change it? If length, s.status, scale calculated greater than 0. Scale calculated. What did it do here? So it's a keys, doing an array, scale calculator. Why is it calling it more than once? That's more my concern is to... Ugh. It's getting hot down here. I was freezing earlier. I was wearing a blanket. Now I'm getting hot. It's like my AC is like not doing anything. Let's not worry about it right now. I don't even care about the logging. Let's get these done. I am getting them all done. They're all starting to say 1400. Now that I'm getting the clues to what's happening with all these guys, let's go look at yards per rush and yards after catch. Yards per rush and yards after catch. Offensive skills. I'm going to do the same thing. Oops. Go if. Nope. Why do I have him in? Oh, weird. Why am I doing that up there? No. No, I'm doing that wrong. I don't want that. Why am I doing that up there? All right, so let's go ahead and take this guy. And we're going to see what happens if I go put him onto yards after catch. And he'll go right here. Nope, got it wrong. It got it wrong. Oh yeah, let's do that. I am liking doing this. Callouts that say if yak skills less than or equal to 0, we're going to put our player name in and the yak skill. Good. So I can set them all true, and I can find the troublemakers. Oops, that's supposed to go away. Oh. All right, we have to do it again here. Now that I know what's happening, see how many of these correct themselves. Okay. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see what's going on. How many have I got left? Yeah, looking pretty good. Big play potential. It's a general skill. I'm going to go to general skills. Set general skills. Oops. This one's going to be weird. Because the big play potential is different for everybody, I think. Oh, that's speed skill. I mean, it's still kind of wonky, but everybody should have a speed skill. I do have speed. What is speed skill coming back as? Speed. Oh, that one's getting everybody. Okay. That's this big play potential here. And that one has. This one's going to be interesting because I don't know how this would happen, but we got to do the same thing. Oh, shimmy Christmas. This one returns 2 values. Oh, wow. Ugh. I'm really close, but we're not there yet. So big play potential for each of these guys is going to be the other item, but if somehow we end up with a 0, we got to do, all right, if, I don't know how that happens, but big play potential this would be get scale min value thing on all these. And then we will do a if right logs and no format dot print line say what do I I usually put in here? Player. If big play ratio is not equal to 0. Sure, why not? All right, we're getting there. We're getting it all cleaned up. All right, what else we have? I still don't understand why punt skill's getting broken. Let's go to my offensive skills output. I turn this back on. True. Now we're going to go up here to my general skills. And the ones I want to see. Big play potential. Base conditioning. Oh, that one's fine. Okay. Go back over here. Refresh. Player pool. All right. So I do expect to see some guys falling into these zones. Oh. Is that big play potential showing up here? Punt leg strength. Oops, did I do the wrong one? That's special teams. I didn't know I had punt leg strength. Oh. Did I copy and paste it from somewhere? Nope, I must have turned on the wrong thing. Oh, yeah, that was the wrong one, dang it. It's supposed to be punt skill, this one. Oh, that one's already on. All right, now the scaling values change. We still get these because, well, I didn't turn it off in time. Leg strength. Let's see how many other guys show up. Shouldn't be anything besides the leg strength because that's not supposed to be. Actually, leg strength needs to be updated so that the logs don't, so they don't show up. If most of these I'm supposed to have just conditionals. So we'll do something like if longest punt is less than or equal to 0, and we'll do that, but we don't need to do it otherwise. I don't know why it would ever be, but at least this way it doesn't show up unnecessarily. right, so we're done. It should drop in. My totals here in a moment. Hopefully I got a bunch more 1484s. As we wait. All right, so I am at 3.5 hours. I think I'm gonna call it. I think we are really close. But we'll see if I can finish these off, get them all wiped out, then I can move on to the next phase. I have a player pool. I should have ratings, so I should probably figure out a way to print me up some views so I can see some players with the ratings. And then I need to go. Well, what I'll probably have to do is figure out the formula to put together. Now that I have their ratings, I got to put together the formula for creating their salaries, their base salaries. Then I can start loading them up into a UI. The base salary formula should be, I have a formula already, so it should be doable. Pretty straightforward, I hope. And I still got some guys getting missed stuff, so not sure why. Anyway, yep,